Hello, folks. I got my apocalyptic bombed out city diorama slash playset set up here. Um, just going to go through it with you to see. I set it up for photos, mostly for sort of post-apocalyptic sci-fi sort of stuff, but it's also good for urban warfare, modern military shooting, and everything. So I'll just go over everything one by one to show you how I made this and who I got set up here. So here is Snake Plissken with the president right there. That's Donald Pleasance from the one of the Halloween 3.75 action figure lines. And that's a Marauder I Love New York figure, I think, or a New York tour guide. That's what it was. He's sort of a inspired by Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Here they are in this any city, which I suppose could be New York, but I'll pull out a little bit to show you how the context of how it's all set up here. So I have this sort of photo printed backdrop I got on Amazon a while ago, and I mounted it on 1/2 inch foam core. So I really like this backdrop. It's rich in color and texture and detail. And it sort of can represent any sort of city, European, off to the top left, or modern New York industrial style. Going down to the street, I actually have this elevated a little bit. I have it sort of mocked up on 2x4s because I actually built in a bomb crater into the floor of the diorama here. And so usually when I do photo shoots, I throw all sorts of debris and stuff in there. The problem with the size of the diorama is you want to always have a vast sort of scope of things, and it doesn't take much till you're you need more filler left and right. So you're constantly having to zoom in to block out all of the non-appropriate things in your environment here. But moving along, these buildings, we'll talk about those. These are Sesame Street playset buildings. I had heavily modified these. I have this vinyl brick texture from Michael's. I think I got it. It's every Christmas season they sell this stuff, and I have it all glued on here. I modified the doors a little bit. The doors were a little short for 3.75-inch action figures, so I found these. I think they were Calico Critter or Sylvanian family doors, and I did some hefty modifications, and there you can see they swing open and closed to make them work. And then I chose a color palette and did a little exterior plumbing, which is just a piece of plastic tubing, and did a little bomb damage and stuff like that, so I can always reconfigure these. None of these are like stuck down, they're just placed here. And I did a heavy weathering and sponging paint job on it. And then we'll talk about the other building there. So this is also the other half of the Sesame Street playset. And similarly, I did some modifications with the doors, and this one I changed the color to some sort of sort of bodega color building, coffee shop building, or apartment building in New York City. They're pretty versatile. I suggest getting some of them and redoing them for your own play sets. So sort of my mantra on building this whole setup was I didn't want to spend a lot of money to make this. I wanted to use things that were either bought in lots or somehow I've accumulated over time. And this is a perfect example right here. This is a Playmobil sort of I don't know, emergency center, first care center, or something like that. Somebody gave it to me. My friend Jim Martin gave me this, and with a lot of other things because he knows I like the scale stuff. And so I figured, all right, I'll just make a little facade behind it. I made this uh, sort of high-rise building facade here out of MDF and just cut some window shapes. And you can be messy with this sort of thing. So anything that wasn't square, I just sort of chipped away with bomb damage and bullet damage. And the Playmobil building, obviously I blew a big hole in the side so I can always throw figures in there for a firing position. And what I like to do is chase the bomb damage with little cracks and things like that I score in with the Dremel, and then I try to fill those with the black paint to catch, the black wash to catch the cracks so they're more pronounced. And I threw a bunch of small arms fire impact on here. You see there's a bunch of machine gun bullet holes and things like that. And then I just sort of did the same sponge technique. And then on here, I wound up with a little bit of gray. It's a little too gray, but I don't know. It was about the only thing I could think of that would make the glass look sort of burnt up and stuff like that. So that's a Playmobil building. And then back here, this is more of a high rise, more so than the other one. So these are just pieces of MDF that I put together. Looks like 3/4, maybe, yeah, something like that. And then I made this sort of little, I don't know, I figured it was like a doorman's house. This would be an old apartment building or something. And I had this roof in the scrap pile. I actually think this is some sort of Lego roof. I'm not really sure. So I primed it up and painted it and did the black wash and everything. And I sort of made this strange, silly corner piece here that just gives some interesting height to the diorama. And these buildings, particularly these cutout facades here, I was inspired by the future war sequences in Terminator 1. You see building facades like this in the background, in the forced perspective special effects shots. And I don't know, I just sort of was inspired by that and figured I'd cut out something to that effect. So I think I would like to add at least 2 more high-rise buildings left and right when I do this. And the first one I thought would be maybe the Playmobil Ghostbusters firehouse. And then the second one, I'm thinking I might have to build something. And I kind of dread building another thing because I have 3 trillion projects out there. And, it's just hard to get to stuff. So the philosophy about like using things that I already had or that I'd purchased in lots. So a lot of times, if the right lot of broken, busted up toys strikes me, I will pick it up. And oftentimes it's Playmobil stuff. And if the right vehicle is in the lot, and of course, if the price is right, I'll pick it up. And then sometimes I'll strip the vehicle for what I want. It might be tires, it might be wheels. And then I'm left with all sorts of spares. And we can go through these a little bit. This is actually a Playmobil 4x4 truck that I must have wanted the tires for or something. I just don't remember how I came upon this, but it has no tires. I think also partly because they would have been burnt out. I seem to have this signature technique for my burnt out vehicles, which is to do this rusty paint treatment. Oftentimes on like the CNN front lines of war, the burnt out vehicles are rusty, and I guess it's from the water when they put the fire out and all the paint's gone. So not quite sure of that phenomena. I could always blacken these up more with a black sponge treatment, but this is my favorite rust treatment that I do on a lot of things, as you can clearly tell by the 4 vehicles or 4 plus vehicles here that are rusted. What I do is I usually flat black first with spray paint, and then I'll do some red oxide primer. My preferred brand is Krylon, and I'll mist it with a spray bottle with some water and spray, like mist the spray can. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on how I do my rust paint treatment, and then I do the orange with a lot of a water bottle and spray paint. And the water and spray paint don't like each other; they repel, and they do all these wonderful textures and things like that. So that's a Playmobil truck here. Back here is a Playmobil bus, and I wanted a bus for the city specifically, just to be burnt out and everything. And I haven't fully finished, as you can see. I have some things that I missed. I think I actually have hatches and stuff. I have the grill somewhere. My projects, I always start them about, I don't know, maybe this time of year, and then they wind up sitting for partially completed for a couple months. And, I'm sure we all have the same problems. But on this one, I wound up dremeling out the windows and doing all these crazy cracks and things like that. But it doesn't quite, it needs to be finished more. I think I got to blacken up the windows. And I also don't like how you see the window only and you don't really see the metal posts behind it. So I have to do something there that'll make me happy, because realistically, if this bus took this much damage, I don't think these windows would be in this large of a sheet. But I really wanted a bus in the city to drive home the fact that people lived here at one time and there was some sort of a disaster. This truck here on its side is a Revell, I think it's a 1/20th scale snap together kit. Here, let me try and close the door here. And I think it was a fire truck. I bought this kit at Ollie's. It was an amazing price. I think it was like $5 or $8 or something. And I really just wanted it for the wheels and tires, which I wound up putting on one of my Unimogs. And then as a bonus, the utility body on the back here, I wound up also shortening and modifying for one of the Unimogs. And then I was left with this truck. What do I do with it? So I gave it my typical rusty, burnt out paint treatment, and left the doors so they can be sort of propped open, and it makes some city battle damage. And then finally, for the vehicles, is this vintage style Trans Am or Camaro. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's Trans Am. This was from the Glamour Gals line, and I really wanted a 1980s, late 70s, early 80s sports car. And it's a little big, though. So the Glamour Gals stuff was a Kenner line around the time of Star Wars toys, 1977 or so. And they had a cruise ship and stuff like that. And anybody who's seen my earlier video with my 3.75-inch salvage ship, that's made from two Glamour Gals Ocean Queen toys, and that's part of the same line. So I'd say this particular vehicle is more like it's a little bigger than 1/16 in my opinion, but being that it's kind of cool, I just wanted it in the city, and I wanted a sports car, and I wanted something with some stuff that can be salvaged. So I kind of threw this, I think this is a Playmobil motor in there. I just kind of threw that under the hood so I can do little scrapping scenes and stuff like that for scavengers. And then, of course, like most everything else, it's got small arms fire impacts all over it. And I kept it so that the doors can be opened, or the trunk can be propped open, so you can put little treasures in there that scavengers might find, or I think it always looks more interesting with the doors sort of propped open, like it's been ransacked already. And then, of course, there's no shortage of things you can do. You can put it on its side and, open up the streets a little bit more. So Snake Plissken is trying to extract the president from this hellhole, and he's got to avoid all of the savage inmates who've sort of created their own society here in this city prison. So I gathered up all my crazy post-apocalyptic figures, and these ones are from Joy Toy. I don't know if you guys remember this. It's been quite a while since this has been out, but these are great, like post-apocalyptic wackos, crazy nutcases patrolling the wastelands with their modified motorcycle. And look at that guy. He's cool with his like sort of gas mask faceplate on and his crazy sword. And the girl, I like her Tommy gun with the little skull on there. And the driver, he's got his wolf's hide guard on. So yeah, they're under orders by the Duke of New York to keep an eye out. They want the president back for ransom. So I got a few other figures here. This dude is a older Chap May guy, but I thought he looks kind of post-apocalyptic. I like his look. This, I think, was a Roblox figure. I honestly can't remember at this point. And then let's see, what else do we got here? So we have this guy would make a great Duke of New York. He's from Fortnite, and that's a Fortnite figure too. It's a shame. I don't know what's happened with Fortnite. I guess they're done with 4-inch figures, 3.75-inch figures. And this vehicle here, I'm sure you all know this vehicle. This was from that Dollar Tree line, the Final Faction vehicle, and it's up armored with the additional kit. This line of toys, the Final Faction stuff, it hit everybody at the right time. It was really great. $1 for each figure, or $1.25, whatever it is. I think the vehicle was, I don't know, under $5, or maybe it was even $1 as well. Good stuff. I stocked up on them. The guns are cool. And then I got this one outfitted with some Fortnite crazies as well. So all good, appropriate stuff here for the apocalyptic city. And then, I've shown you this Texico trailer before. I like how it's rusted and all beat up. I think as is, it's a perfect complement for the city. So let's switch up some other figures here and show you some other options. So I did a quick little rearrangement of the city by moving some of the buildings around and throwing the trailer towards the back and getting rid of some of the cars and opening it up a little bit. And if it were just a little bit wider, I'd be so much more pleased with this. But at the time, I really didn't know how I wanted to go with this. So here I got a couple characters set up, and these guys look like they'd be great in some sort of 1970s exploitation action flick, trying to escape from the city, just like Kurt Russell and Donald Pleasance. So these guys this is a custom I made. She's actually got a Lego character hairpiece. And this was Osha from the Acolyte, Star Wars Acolyte. And this is Leon Kelly from Eagle Force. He's actually just one of my favorites. I like this guy so much. He's so cool. I could just hear the funk music score for him with all his adventures here. So the figures I'm going to close out with are these guys. So these are from Joy Toy, and they make a sort of very different post-apocalyptic scenario, more like some sort of horrors of Chernobyl type of thing. But I gotta say, these Joy Toy guys are so. I love original designs for action figures. I just like when, I mean, come on, they're giving you a little corgi dog with a gas mask and all that for his companion here. I mean, seriously, what's the backstory? I want to know. I love this sort of stuff that we just don't know anything about here with these guys. But these guys are like, this is my idea of cool design here. I mean, geez, this flamethrower guy, he's got his full armored uniform on, and the detail. Look at that gas, these gas canisters on his backpack, and he's got his gas mask with hoses and all that. I think he even came with a flame effect, which I should have dug out, but I don't have it. I don't have it right now. But I have a couple other flame effects from other toy lines, and I like to interchange them and all. And then this guy, like, what's his story? He's obviously got a metal detector. He's probably searching for precious resources for either trade or maybe he's making some sort of crazy sort of vehicle, and he needs armored plates and stuff. But these guys are all accessorized up. The shovels and the guns and things like that all are removable, and you can just customize them any way you see fit. You can remove the backpack if it's too much for you. Just great stuff all around. And then there's this guy who's a little more sort of like from, I would say he's almost from the gaming world of inspiration here, like something from Assassin's Creed or something like that. But he's got this great sort of Japanese samurai-esque devil faceplate on his shoulder pauldron there, and sort of a mix of modern tactical gear and apocalyptic stuff going on here. I just love this group of figures. I hope they sort of continue the line here. But there they are. They're searching for the last valuables left in this contaminated world. So hope you guys like the layout, and if you have any questions, just shoot them on over in the comments. All right, hope you're having a great weekend.